Hey everybody, welcome to Aquatope on the White Sand review, episode 8, and as always, there is some business that I have to take care of first, so give me about a minute. First things first, I am moving this channel over to primarily anime or anime-like content only, but my gaming content that some of you have come to subscribe for, I'm going to be moving over to a second channel that I've already created as of last night. So that means my Pokemon, my Call of Duty playthroughs, any of that type of content, all that stuff is going to be over there on the second channel. And I will be putting up a link and a screenshot to that channel right about now. My reasoning and all that can be explained later in a later video, but if you've been watching over the summer so far, then you kind of have a generally good idea of what's going on. Next up, we are on the road to 250 subs by the time the end of the year rolls around, and we are on that road to 1,000 subs by the time Anime Expo rolls around next summer. And if we hit or get really close to that 1,000 subs, or we break it, I will cosplay the full cosplay as Inori Yuzuriha. Next year, I will have the best moments and reactions recorded, edited, and uploaded here. Okay, so here's the crash course. LuriTsuN is going to have my gaming content, and LuriTsuN here is going to have my anime content. We are on the way to 250 subs by the end of the year, and 1K subs by the time Anime Expo rolls around next summer. Okay, so enough out of me, let's get on with the episode 8 review of Aquatope on the White Sand. Last week's episode 7 was a little slow, but it was definitely an important episode. Having Kuya in the spotlight was great, and it was very important that we received at least some light on his personality too. Episode 8 this week was a somewhat different story, but it definitely had similar elements when it came to the various experiences each character had this episode. It isn't always the big things in life that have the biggest impact. Sometimes it's the little things that really make it count. So for my initial thoughts on this week's episode, a traveling aquarium, how unique is that? It seems that Gama is more than just your average aquarium, even from the standpoint of normalcy. I figured that since the aquarium is relatively small, this allows them to do things like traveling aquariums. A normal aquarium with the basic day-to-day would get monotonous after a while and could quickly bore the viewer. Seeing everyone so happy to partake in this little traveling aquarium really brought out the good in this anime. Like I mentioned earlier, it was all of the little things that mattered the most this episode. Personally, I was excited to see how Fuuka and Kukuru would handle such an event, since the two are practically attached at the hip. Overall, episode 8 was one of the better episodes so far. Slow, but not too slow. The pacing has been consistent through 8 episodes so far, which makes me excited to see where the rest of the anime will go. Alright, so on to my favorite part of these weekly reviews, Fuuka. I want to start off by mentioning the scene where Umi offers to give Fuuka a ride to the pediatric care facility. It was the fact that Kukuru asked her the simple question, "Want the AC?" and her initial reaction was just to stand there that really brought forth a little comedic element. Fuuka is possibly the most innocent human being on the planet, so when she stood there pondering about Umi's question, the lack of any reaction for a good several seconds gave Fuuka a new personality trait in a way. She's funny, but inadvertently. You can tell she really thought hard about the offer. Moving on, she didn't have as much of a spotlight this episode, but the fact we're not being spoiled with what is probably most everyone's best girl is kind of nice. It's a real treat when Fuuka is given an important role, because it's a great test of how far she's come thus far. The next thing I want to talk about regarding Fuuka is her awful luck with the marine life. First, it's the penguins, now it's the crabs. Out of context, that sounds really bad. When the crab she was holding in her hand pinched her, I kind of revolted myself. I've been pinched by hermit crabs, and that hurts. Maybe it was just a type of stimulus response, but I absolutely felt her pain. But the fact of the matter is, there weren't even supposed to be crabs at their little traveling aquarium, so how the one escaped that did is kind of a mystery. Needless to say, Fuuka once again found herself in a spot of trouble, but accidents happen, and it's not like she can tell the marine life to sit, stay, and wag their tail. Still though, this was an important episode for Fuuka. She had to own up to letting the crab escape and then being unable to find it after it escaped the room. But I think she did a fine job, and she meant no harm by any of it, of course. Though her time in the spotlight remained short again this week, she's obviously come a long ways since she first began at Gama. That's something to be proud of. Now, for Kukuru. With Kukuru, it doesn't matter what it is if it's in regard to the aquarium. If it's at all Gama related, Kukuru lights up like a candle. She has such a bright and bubbly personality, especially this week. Kukuru really just wanted to see the smiling faces of all the kids at the clinic, because that means someone is enjoying that same passion as her. It's kind of like a shared feeling, maybe like an aura. Anyways, from Kukuru's perspective, the fact that her and Fuuka took off on the motorbike instead of taking Umi up on his offer was a little cold shoulder. I wasn't a great big fan of her blowing Umi off like she did just so she could give Fuuka what she wanted. I understand this mentality, but it's really going to bite her in the ass when the time comes. Of course, she doesn't want Gama to be shut down. No one does. After discovering that the nurse at the clinic also knew that Gama was going to potentially close its doors come the start of the next month, Kukuru again just kind of shut down. Gama means everything to her, and every time someone mentions its potential closure, Kukuru just wants to prove to everyone how hard she's working to keep it from closing. Don't get me wrong, Gama is basically her lifeblood. She's probably put blood, sweat, and tears into the place at one time or another, so she's pretty joined at the hip with Gama too. Alright, so on to some relationships and world building stuff this week. The traveling aquarium was a great rapport builder. It also being something that Umi was really looking forward to possibly doing again really showed how much passion he has when it comes to entertaining the children. If Gama has the means to do something like this more often, I think it would promote more interest in the aquarium itself. In the last few minutes of the episode, Kukuru learns about Karin-chan's past a little. How she wanted to be an attendant at an aquarium, but her parents wanted her to have a more steady job. She starts off talking about her dream, and this is so important. Dreams can become reality in the craziest of ways, but you should never give up on them. While the theme of dreams in this anime is still something Fuuka struggles with, in a way, I feel like her evolving relationship with Kukuru will propel both of their dreams forward. Gama has so much influence on Okinawa that it's probably just as iconic on a local level as Akihabara is on a countrywide level. Perhaps even greater. The world is a big place, and Gama takes up just a tiny little bit of it. But it's the influence and love that it has brought to the local community that makes all the difference. Finally, the moment Karin-chan says she likes aquarium attendants, it really perks Kukuru up. It was an interesting choice of words, but it's hard to say whether or not this goes any deeper in terms of overall feelings. What I can say, however, is that the Gama team is a family. They lift each other up and support each other when their foundation gets a little shaky. Yeah, Gama is really something alright. Something special indeed. And now finally for this week's after credits scene. This week we were also introduced to a brand new team member who will be working at Gama with Kukuru and everyone else. This seems strange considering the possibility that Gama could be closing its doors. The new girl seems incredibly ecstatic too. She gave me the complete opposite impression of Fuuka. While she's only there for training, why would she be sent to Gama of all places? What is it that they can teach her that she wouldn't already know from working at another aquarium? One thing is for sure though, Kukuru is not pleased. Maybe she's just not a fan of having another girl around, or that maybe she'll try to take Fuuka away from her. Who knows? We'll find out next week. But regardless, episode 8 was a fun episode this week, and I really enjoyed watching it and learning something new. There are still definitely a lot of mysteries surrounding Gama and a lot of things yet to be solved, but I think that's what makes Aquatope on the White Sand so unique. Next week will be episode 9 already, which is really pretty insane to think about. We've been watching this for over 2 months now. But that is it for me this week. Remember that we are on the road to 250 subs by the end of the year, 1,000 by Anime Expo next year for the Inori Yuzuri Hot cosplay, and I will catch you guys next week with episode 9. And don't forget that my gaming content is going to be over there on LuriTsuN, which is going to be for gaming stuff, obviously, so if you're still here for that, check that out. Alright, well that's enough out of me. Enjoy your weekend. I will catch you guys next Friday or Saturday with episode 9, and later on sometime this weekend or next week with some new anime content as well that is not Aquatope, I promise. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel and the videos, and I will catch you guys in the next upload. Peace.